This is my good friend Jim Martin, and I'm going to be asking him some questions about our recent history. What do you know or remember about November 22nd, 1963, when JFK was assassinated?
I was fairly young then. I was 14 years old. I remember the afternoon like it was yesterday. I was in high school at the time, and JFK was a well thought of president, and but in hearing that, I mean, it's like the whole country came to a stop at that time. Even small kids, I mean, were following JFK at that time, and it was a really bad time in our history for a long time.
Being a Vietnam veteran, what do you know or remember about it?
Vietnam was a very tough place. When I got to Vietnam, it was like you walk right into a furnace, and the humidity was terrible. And I was able to serve in the 101st Airborne Division there as far as infantry goes, and in the jungle all the time. It came to pass that we actually realized that that was a political war. A lot of people were making a lot of money off that war. And obviously, we were fighting for our country, but most importantly, we were fighting for each other over there just to get home. And that was my premise with the guys that I had under my command, is that we just get home.
What do you remember about July 20th, 1969, when the U.S. was able to land men on the moon?
To me, it was a great day. It was a lot of anticipation. It had gone on for a long time that this was going to happen. Everybody, I believe, anywhere was glued to their TV sets. I had to actually go to a military base that night. It was a pretty long drive, but didn't want to leave the TV. Had to see that happen. It's one of the most historical things that the United States has ever done, and look how far we've come.
What do you remember about August 8th, 1974, following the Watergate scandal?
The Watergate scandal, to me, I believe was kept under wraps for a long time. And then, of course, the press got a hold of it. Nixon being president, I believe it was some of his men, with his knowledge or not, who knows. But I didn't particularly care for the Watergate committee. And it was a situation to where at that particular point in time, even our current Democratic, hopeful for president there, Hillary Clinton, um, basically got censured and thrown off that committee for committing fraud and lies. So, it was a bad time when, Nixon actually had to resign.
What do you remember about January 28th, 1986, when the Space Shuttle Challenger burst seconds into flight?
A lot of people watching that. We had gone to space plenty of times. It was just a routine day. Everybody thought it was a routine mission. And, when that exploded seconds into the flight, you could just see it. Anybody around, they were horrified. And, my first thought, of course, was the astronauts. I thought they might have been in some sort of capsule that they could come down, but everything was destroyed, and it was not a good day.
What do you remember about November 9th, 1989, when the Berlin Wall came down?
The Berlin Wall, when I was growing up, you used to see it on TV all the time. Many interviews were done there, and it was a situation where when the Berlin Wall came down, I mean, it was actually great because you could almost see, not communism coming to an end, but when they removed the wall, a lot of people in East Germany got to see their family in West Germany. And so it was a really good time. West Germany had to take on a lot with East Germany because they were a communist held country, and so it took some time for those two countries getting back together.
What do you know or remember about September 11th, 2001?
September 11th was, I can put it in probably one of the top categories, obviously, that it was a real wake up call that terrorism could come to our country. We've been insulated for years with wars, and nobody understands how when you, even when I was in Vietnam, how a country suffers when war is in that country. And so I think it was a wake up call. It was something that was just, to me, it was just unbelievable that that could happen. Um, and the country was together at that time. Everybody's going around with an American flag on their car. But you could see that eroding away, and even today, you can see the erosion of society to where we we better be careful, or that will happen again.
Thank you. Finally, it is said that every American has a dream, be it wealth, happiness, a better life for their children or themselves. What was your dream, and do you think you achieved it?
Well, my dream when I was growing up, because I played a tremendous amount of football and baseball, and my dream was to either play baseball or football. Unfortunately, I got hurt pretty bad playing football, and that went out the window. And I just wanted to serve my country, serve it well, and get married and have kids one day. And happiness to me is what I'm looking for. Happiness to me is not measured by money. It's having good kids, great country, and the things that go along with it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, my favorite unit from this year was the Vietnam unit. Being so close to so many Vietnam veterans and not really knowing what went on and how they had to deal with things and learning about it finally after 16 years of not really knowing, it gave me a new perspective on what they've gone through and how they've achieved what they've achieved now. And it just was very interesting to me. So, my place in society is a working man. Working. That's all you got to do. Wake up in the morning, go do your job. Whether that be working at McDonald's, flipping burgers, towing a truck, working on a car, being a cop, fighting fires, being a medic. I mean, it's all one big thing. You're a little pebble in a sea full of big rocks. That was a cool metaphor, by the way. Um, so I'm just an average dude, just being an average dude. My American dream is not only to be able to support my family financially, but have a great moral conscience, knowing that I've done whatever I could do for my family and being successful, whatever way that means. Have a good day.